Hello? Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, is this the guy running for sheriff?
This is him.
Okay, well, I was wondering, what do you do to get a sign?
Well, where can I bring you one?
I live at the edge of Ozark and Taney County.
Ozark County? Okay. I'm going to be out and about tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll just bring you one over tomorrow. It'll probably be afternoon, if that's okay.
Okay, I may go to Branson, but I'm in Gainesville right now.
Okay. How long are you going to be in Gainesville?
What's that? My wife.
How long?
My wife's in the store right now, so I have 4 small children as well too. And the guys at the Bumper to Bumper said you should be the sheriff. I've met Curtis Dobbs, and I have some police reports I've been requesting from them, and they keep saying it's under investigation. I think it's because it's one of their friends, and they don't want to give me the police reports. So.
That's not right. How long has that report been out?
Let's see. June 24th, June 26th, June 30th, and July 4th.
Oh, wow.
These were harassment reports of a person yelling and screaming at my house, a neighbor, and yeah. So, but you know, I was a chief petitioner 2016 to have Lexington, Missouri audited. I helped a prison ministry for many years. That we do have innocent people in jail, and Missouri Highway Patrol doesn't wear body cameras, and they should. If you're Republican or Democrat?
Right, I agree.
Are you Republican or Democrat?
I'm Republican.
Okay, you know what happened to General Flynn, where they take notes, and his interview should have been recorded.
Should have been recorded. Well, here's the deal: those cameras, they don't just protect. They don't protect from situations that the officers are responding to. It protects them as well. So, I mean, it works both ways. I think the body cameras are an outstanding tool for what we do. So,
absolutely,
it keeps everybody honest. Let's just say that. So, I'm for them. I am for the body cameras. So, sir, I'll be honest with you. I am not very close to Gainesville right now. I'm kind of out of pocket. So, if you don't mind, if you want to text me your address, I'll drop you some signs off. I'll drop you some shirts off, whatever you want.
I'll text this number. And I actually just was at the courthouse and filed a restraining order against the guy not to come over. He's over this morning, and I just don't even bother to call, so. And I've never once, I've lived here 2 years, me and my wife and children, and we're going to list our house for sale now and move back closer to Branson. I drove the horse and carriage ride in Branson for many years. I'm a long-time Missouri. I was born in Missouri, and I think people have to get active in our government if we're going to save our country. The Marxists are. So I'm a handful. If you talk to me, you might have an interesting conversation with me. Curtis Dobbs was very nice.
So. I like it. I like to have an interesting conversation. And here's the thing: you aren't the first one that I've heard these complaints. Yesterday, I got off the phone with a woman who said that, and this is basically the gist of it. Her husband was in a horrible car accident and it killed him. The kids were in the vehicle. They lived. They survived, but they were transported to a hospital up in Springfield. While she was at the hospital in Springfield, the brothers of the deceased father decided that they were going to go over to the house, and they burglarized the house, busted all the windows out of the house, stole items out of the house. They got drunk, and the neighbor witnessed this, contacted law enforcement. Law enforcement shows up, knows that they don't live there, doesn't do anything. They never charge them with anything. One of the guys tried to assault one of the officers, and they just put it down as, well, they're mourning their brother. Their brother passed away, so they're mourning. You can't do that. What about the victim, the woman that when her kids get out of the hospital, they're going to come home to a wrecked house. So that nothing was ever done with that.
There's a big problem. They're looking at her as a nobody, and there's somebody. That's a big problem in the country.
That's it. Listen, you should not be defined by your financial bank account or your stability. You shouldn't be defined for your past record, whether you've been a impeccable record within the community or you've had some issues with the law enforcement in the past. You should be treated as a citizen of Ozark County. You should get, like anybody else, law enforcement right across the board. Whether you're
felons should get their rights back as long as you didn't use a weapon to hurt someone, or you're that type. I have a daughter that's 26 now. I have 8 children. And I have a daughter who's 26 that got a felony in Colorado. I wasn't around. Me and their mother was getting divorced, and that's going to be with her entire life. And she's never gotten any. She was running around. Her mother was letting her run around with the wrong people, and this is going to be with her forever. And so, common sense isn't so common anymore. And
what was the charge? What was she charged with?
That was when she was 17, I think, and she's 26. She's in Texas now. It was checks. It was bad checks. They were writing bad checks or something like that. And
wow, she got a felony for that?
Yeah, it's Colorado. Colorado's a real police state. But, recently one of these guys' friends, the June 30th incident, was just some guy I don't know that's a rich, good old boy in his truck with a welder, and he's got his wife and a kid riding on his lap. I have it posted on my YouTube channel, which the prosecutor said I'm posting those for entertainment purposes, and I said, no, they're posted for keeping a record, and he didn't want me to record him. He takes notes. And I said, Missouri law says I'm allowed to record you, anyway, it's about a 1-minute video, and the guy gets out. I was working on a mower with the kids in front of our house, and he slowed down. So since he slowed down, what is this guy doing slowing down in front of my house? With this, we have a property line dispute going on behind our deck, and so I put the camera up, and the guy stopped the truck and got out and said, what are you doing? Are you filming people on the road? Yes. Yeah, I'm filming people on the road. And then he proceeds to tell me to get out in the road, and he's going to whip my ass. And I didn't oblige him, and so I called the sheriff, and then this Deputy Miller shows up, and he says, oh, I got a call from my sheriff saying that you were shining a laser light at this guy on your road. And I said, no, I wasn't. And who is the guy? Oh, I don't know who he is. And then about 8 minutes in the conversation, I've posted this. About 8 minutes later in the conversation, he says he knows who this person is. And I wrote as a comment a $500 reward to identify the guy. And he's some rich landowner that, thinks he can get out and curse me out. His wife's got a little baby on her lap, and she's telling him, Paul, get in the truck, Paul, you're showing your ass. Yeah, and they've done nothing. And then the neighbor is this guy, Ron Steely, and we live on Steely Road, and I told him, don't come back. You don't have anything to do with the property dispute with the other neighbors. And maybe I'm buying it. But yet he tells me to come off my porch. He's going to whip my ass. He yells, screams, curses, uses foul language. And I've never done any of that. And I've recorded it and I've posted it. And the prosecutor, I said, well, he's trespassing. Well, it's been surveyed and it's going to be tit for tat. Well, that survey, a judge has not determined that survey is even valid, and you can't come and disturb the peace and do that. So I'm going to be living here for a while till our house sells. So I'll put one of your signs up, and I may even, because of this, advocate for some kind of cause around here or something. I've been out to Eastlands when we first moved here, and I met them, the hippies. I had them unload a semi-trailer we had, and I'm not a supporter of homosexuals or abortion. And, I'm a Republican type. I'm a conservative Christian person. And, I think it's very fair untreatment that we got to cut. The guy was sitting down this morning. I went out on the deck for coffee. He's sitting down in the hayfield at the driveway. Then he gets out and goes up across the road, and he starts weed eating across the road. He's only he has no business, good cause to be over there except to intimidate me and my family. And really, I'm 52, and I'm certainly capable of showing my butt and cursing and yelling or grabbing someone and whooping them, but I'm not going to do that. I have no reason to do that because I have a family that I love very much, and I just want us to be. It's very ridiculous. A hay field that needed brush hogged and an old fallen down fence behind my house when it could have been settled, but yeah. And I tried to fix it for 2 years, and I fixed all the other fence, and there was never a problem where I have horses, and I fixed all of it, and there was never ever a single problem. But when I go to fix up around the back of my house, there's a problem because these people are realtors that are our neighbors, and maybe they know that it's worth more, but they'll be real surprised when they see I'm going to list it for $240. I might not get that, but hopefully I'll make a profit and I'll be blessed. So, well, I'll give you my address and I'll shut up here. I get all wound up. My address.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, don't wait on me.
Okay.
I'll just drop those off tomorrow. I'll just put them on your porch, or if there's a specific place that you want them, I'll just drop them off wherever. So
there's an American flag and a Trump flag out front, and sometime I'd like to meet you.
Outstanding.
Sometime I'd like to meet you. So.
Okay. Well, if you just send me that, and I will try to come back. I don't like to politic on Sunday. I try to stay away from politicking on Saturday. So.
We all refuse to do that, and it's one of God's laws. And I'll tell you, last year they cut trees, the county, and I called up, and the guy was rude, and I said, hey, I'm recording this call. Oh, you're recording this? And so then I called his boss, the commissioner, and he said, you're the guy that is recording? He says, record this, and he hangs up. So I called the presiding commissioner, and I said, hey, these guys are acting really like jerks. I don't want them to cut trees on my property. And he said, you're the guy that's recording? And I said, yes. He's all, I'm going to turn it over to the prosecutor. I've done nothing except want to be transparent and, and I didn't pursue. They didn't come back this year and cut them again or anything. And I told them there's one hanging over the road they should have cut. They cut the ones that help the neighbor's view, but not the ones that are really hanging over the road. So accountability is like a big deal, and I like that you wrote that. So I'll text you my address. And
So your Western commissioner, you called him, and he said, record this, and hung up on you?
Yep.
Good grief. Where's the professionalism?
Well, that's it. Well, I'm dealing with the health department now, and I've recorded him, and they've gave me a violation for a gray water line. And the gray water line violation, I have the neighbor talking to deputies off my deck. It's on the YouTube channel, and it's titled Grandfathered Gray Line. And Rory tells him the line's been here for 16 years and the tractor gets stuck, which is bullshit. The tractors never got stuck there in the 2 years I lived there. And Ron, the guy that lived there 16 years, had permission to have the gray line there, but now they don't like me. So now they've reported me to the health department. The health department guy came out, and I videoed that on July 5th, and I said, good morning, what's going on? Oh, nothing. And I said, well, what's your name? I want him to identify himself. He wanted to put his head down and not be a man and say what, and I was nice, and I dug it out of him, and he identified himself, Craig. And so then we talked for a while, and he told me I can't have it there per state law, and I said, okay, no problem, I want to fix it. And he told me hook it back into the septic, and I said, no problem, I'll do it. He said, I'm going to send you a violation, and when you get the violation in the mail, you got 30 days to correct it. I said, okay. No problem. So then I wait, and then Ron Raymond, the owner that is also on the deed, got it in the mail, and I called over there and I said, how come I didn't get a notification? He said, you're not getting one. I said, why aren't I getting one? Well, you're not an owner. I said, I'm on the deed and recorders, and I should have one. And actually, I called Taney County environmental engineer yesterday, talked to him for 42 minutes, and he said, absolutely, a lot of times we don't give them to deed to contract holders because the people don't take responsibility, but we do give them one. And of course, if a guy like you asked me for a copy of it, I'd give you one. This guy over there says, no, I'm not giving you one. I don't have to give you one. And I said, well, then I don't have to fix it. I said, Ron Raymond is 80 years old and lives in Springfield. I'm the guy that lives here on the property. I'm the guy that's on the deed. I'm the guy that's going to fix it. Send me a notification and I'll fix it. No, I'm not sending you one. I'm calling the prosecutor because you're recording me. Yes, and so I made sure to email him.
That's what in the world? Why are they so scared of the camera? As long as you're doing your job, it doesn't matter if you're being recorded or not.
I emailed him the recordings. If you text me your email, I'll email you the recordings of it, and I'll email you.
Gosh, I've never seen. This is their mentality. You've got them. You put them on camera, and they start freaking out. It's not effective.
Well, I'm just recording the
doing
phone
your
call.
job.
I record all my phone calls, and I record all my around my house. Yeah.
And see, but that's just how you do it, because that's covering your butt. Because when, like, I've got a deal on my cell phone, and it's just a little deal that when I take a phone call or when I get a phone call, it records that phone call. No big deal, and they're not that big. It's not that big of a situation. And same thing with the video. As long as you're doing your job and you're doing it in the color of the law, there's no reason to freak out that you're on there. There's no reason to give them your name. I mean, well, you give them your name, you give them the information, you treat everybody the right way, and go on.